Welcome, friends, to today's micro meditation. Let's close our eyes together once again. Let's take 3 long, slow, deep breaths. Continue as I go ahead and speak with you. These deep breaths are an opportunity for you to relax and to come into contact with, to acknowledge, to be with something that's real, something that's not abstract, something that's not contrived, not made up, not imagined. When you pay attention to the breath in the present moment, you're with something that is actually occurring as it is. This as it is so important to all spiritual paths, to all spiritual practices. Many paths begin with examination of the breath, with mindfulness of breathing. But the Buddha's meditation technique, anapanasati, which literally means mindfulness of breathing, very quickly moves on to examine other phenomena, other stuff, other experience, for the purpose of seeing it as it is. Now I wonder, friends, how much trouble you may have experienced in your life seeing things not as they are. Certainly, I have experienced much trouble throughout my lifetime for seeing things not as they are. And one of the most dangerous examples of this is what is called selective focus, especially when it's informed by negative bias. My wife and I were just watching one of our favorite shows last night, Modern Family. The writing on this show is impeccable. And there was one scene in which one of the characters, who is portrayed as the buffoon, the idiot, the fool, is using selective focus to confirm that members of the family don't like him, don't want him there at a gathering. He's wandering around the place and he overhears 3-4 family members saying things which are unrelated to him, but could be related to him. And this is where that good writing, clever writing, is so important to any good show. The writers managed to write dialogue that had relevant double meanings, so it's believable to the viewer that this buffoon character could very easily interpret that the family members were talking about him, but they weren't. And I'm sat with my wife, who many of you know is a psychologist, and we're grinning because we're seeing this powerful demonstration of selective focus informed by negative bias. The fool character believes that the family doesn't want him there, and so he finds things in his experience to confirm that belief. And I was reminded of many times in my life when I did the same. Many of you will know that a major struggle for me throughout my development was fear of intimacy. I grew up feeling that I was undeserving of the affection of a woman. And so I selected things in my experience to confirm that belief. But later in life, when I dropped that belief, I found I was much more successful with women, much more successful in dating. And that's how I found my wife, who is an amazing match for me. Years prior, I would have immediately assumed that my wife was out of my league. And so I would have clammed up, I would have frozen, I would have said all the wrong things. And so I would have carried out a self-fulfilling prophecy. I would have confirmed my belief by my behavior. And this is what is meant when people say we create our own reality, or at least this is one facet of that whole concept. It might be a little bit more than a concept. Mindfulness helps us to catch when we're using selective focus, when we're applying any kind of bias. A positive bias is bad too, because it's unrealistic. Now, we could argue that it's healthier than a negative bias. But what we really want is what's real, what's true. When we see the truth of our experience, we're gathering real data and evidence to inform our decisions, to inform our behaviors. And so in the pursuit of living the good life and helping others to do the same, mindfulness is greatly important. And so in the Buddha's Anapanasati, he guides us through the various phenomena that we might experience. The breath, the whole body, feelings, thoughts, and the final category of Dharma, the deeper truth of reality, the deeper truth of being, the nature of the mind, the nature of experience, the nature of awareness. This is the root understanding to all understandings. If there is any inaccuracy in how we perceive these fundamental aspects of reality, then there's going to be misunderstanding in everything we perceive. And that's going to make it much, much harder to live that good life. And we will be in no position to guide others to any real benefit. So if you're someone who's not spent much time meditating, not spent much time practicing mindfulness, consider this a demonstration of the real benefits. Nothing magical happens when we sit and watch our breathing. It's that we're developing our clear seeing by using the breath as a tool. Then you apply your clear seeing to the whole body, to the feelings, to the thoughts, eventually to the nature of your entire experience. And as you develop this skill in sitting meditation, like we're doing now, it becomes easier and easier to live mindfully, to live in clear seeing, to see when the mind creates bias, to see when the mind is practicing selective focus. And in seeing those things, they become easier and easier to drop. More and more you see things as they really are, and now, finally, you're living in the real world, as opposed to in the world of interpretation. So that if you wander past someone and you overhear them saying something which could be taken to be negative about you, you remain aware that their words could mean many things, and that it's best not to assume. And you can extrapolate this out across all of your experience. You remain open to the infinite possibilities represented by all phenomena, all stuff, all experience. And this is a great vantage point from which to move toward that good life, health, wealth, and happiness, harmony in your relationships, and then to guide others toward those beneficial outcomes. Please return to this meditation whenever you need a reminder, and I'll be back with another one for you soon.